So I'm over here on the east coast of Mallorca. I'm over here in Cala Ratjada. Now you can see I'm down here on the waterfront, and while the coastal views from this area are absolutely stunning. In fact, let me know in the comments below if you are a regular over here in Cala Ratjada, or if you've just come over here on a day trip, and I'll explain later on how you can visit this gorgeous area of the island a little bit further down in the direction of Cala Milor. But for now, let's turn the camera around. I'm going to show you what Cala Ratjada is like and what you can expect if you're coming here for a holiday. So I am filming into the sunshine here, and we're about halfway along the promenade here, just looking out across the coastline, and it is absolutely stunning. And right up ahead there's a lovely hotel and also a small beach, but we'll head there on another video, so consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. I will be back, but in the meantime let's turn the camera around and let's take a walk down through Cala Ratjada on our way to Cala Gat. So we have some wonderful restaurants here, got some wonderful bars too. Look, I'm outside of the Tiki beach, and there's a whole string of restaurants and bars which line this walkway here, which looks out onto the water. I mean, it just is so pretty, and you can see that we're just coming around here into the harbour in Cala Ratjada. So I'm filming this more or less at the end of the season, so we're seeing quite a few restaurants and bars have closed. And just to give you an idea of location here, look, we're 7 kilometres away from the beautiful walled town of Captepera. We're about half a kilometre from the centre of Cala Ratjada. So Cala Ratjada is very popular with our German friends. You're going to find as well, most of the restaurants here, the menus will appear in German. They'll obviously have the Spanish translation, they'll have the English translation too. But one thing I've noticed from being over here today is that there are lots of Italian restaurants as well, because, well, just like Pagera in the southwest of the island, Germans do love Italian food, and that's the one reason you're going to find many Italian restaurants here. Saying that too, we had a fantastic pizza, and I am here with friends today. Had a fantastic pizza a little bit further along. I'll show you where we ate, but it was the best pizza I've had since our summer holiday in Italy this year. But in the meantime, let's keep walking along this absolutely stunning promenade. And I have to say as well, it's flat and it is accessible. So I can imagine during the hot summer months this area is really packed and really busy. We are seeing very much an emptier Cala Ratjada at the end of the holiday season here. Look at these empty tables. It's not normally like this, but if you are coming over here on holiday, or if you are staying nearby, well, you won't be disappointed with the amount of places to eat and just the views as well that you're going to get from all the restaurants just along this waterfront area. I mean, it is absolutely gorgeous. And look, this is what I mean here. Look, we've got the Pasta Cala Ratjada restaurant. Little Italian touch there. Right next door to, look, more pizza and pasta here. Look, €9.50 for a vegetarian pizza, and that's for 2025. And just coming up to some of the artwork that we have over here in Cala Ratjada. In fact, I was previously up in Captepera and I saw a little art shop here as well, selling prints and mugs from this artist. But that's something for you to explore if you are into art and visiting. Look at the colour of the water here. Look, so we're just coming up along the coast. Just look how beautiful and turquoise it is. And we're just walking around into this little harbour area, which for many people on the east coast you will be arriving into if you take advantage of some of the boat trips that we have a little bit further down the coast from Cala Bona and Cala Milor. So if you are visiting Cala Bona and Cala Malor, well, a trip up to Cala Ratjada is just one of the fantastic day trips that you can do on the Cala Ratjada Express, which leaves from Cala Malor pretty much daily on the good sailing day. You may well have seen the boat leaving in any of my live streams or any of my videos from over in Cala Malor, but you can come up here for the day, come and explore the area, maybe come up for market day, have some food, enjoy the shopping as well, because of course there is a high street which runs parallel here right down through Cala Ratjada Resort. It does remind me a little bit of Pagera. You do have your tourist shops, you've got other restaurants, there's a Burger King there as well, plus there are a couple of nightclubs too if you are actually staying in the resort. But anyway, we're going to keep walking down. I'm going to point out the restaurant as well where we had lunch and where we had the best pizza that I've found since visiting Italy this summer. And check this out, look, we do have a day tripper boat just coming in. If you are staying over here, you're of course going to be able to take little day trips up the coast. A little bit hard to see which tour company that is, but we shall take a look as we head on around the marina here, look. Also interesting to note as well, in this square, this main area that I'm coming into, we've got a Frank Kruger, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly, gallery, which sits right above the El Gaucho restaurant. And you find these El Gaucho steakhouses all over the island too. Frank Kruger, this gallery here, if you're a regular in Palma City, you're going to know exactly where that is, just off the Plaza de Court area. I'm just coming up around a kids park here, and following this beautiful coastal walk around Cala Ratjada. So look, this is what I mean. It's almost like Little Italy here. Look, we've got another Italian kitchen here with an Italian chef, Agostino Pettinato. Fresh pasta, it looks amazing, actually. Is this the best resort to come to for Italian food? Well, it may well be. Cala Ratjada may serve the best Italian food in Mallorca. Maybe it's famous for it. They are getting the Italian chefs in. And just across the way here, look, I think you've got more than one tour boat going out today. This whole marina is packed with catamaran cruises and other day trips as well. You can take up and down the coast. Also, if you are a regular over here, let us know in the comments what your favourite day trip is from over here in Cala Ratjada. But one thing I have noticed, just going through the afternoon, and we are rolling towards 4 p.m, is that this whole walkway does have the afternoon sun. Now, especially at this time of year, filming in October, some areas of the islands and some resorts do fall into the shade, but not over here in Cala Ratjada, which makes this part of the island a fantastic place to come, a little bit out of season. Of course, you've got this lovely walk, and just looking back as well, you've got the sun too. And I'm just standing outside the Mamma Mia Trattoria and Pizzeria Italiano here for a change. Again, another choice of Italian restaurant. It isn't open at the moment, so I think it might open a little bit later on, or indeed maybe it's closed for the season. Who knows? You'll find that open during the summer months. Just to give you a few views over the harbour. Now, filming this as well in 2025, I can see that some kind of major refurbishment is taking place down here by the harbour side. Hopefully that'll be done by 2026, but look at the views that you get from these restaurants here. And something tells me as well that this area has something of a vibrant nightlife. Look, it's closed on a Wednesday, but this bar otherwise would be open until 4 o'clock in the morning. Opens at 8 p.m. I can imagine things getting rather lively down here. Just taking a walk around here too. Look, plenty of places as well doing a happy hour. Oh no, who's this chap here? Let us know in the comments. Look, he features quite heavily on the O Sole Mio restaurant on the posters here. €5 sangrias. I'm not sure whether he's serving them. Who knows? One thing's for sure though, it's mega. So we're just going to keep walking on through here, heading on through the resort. You can see the huge choice of restaurants here, mostly, like I said, Italian, which is quite funny, but another really nice coastal resort here with some fantastic sea and port views. So right next to the Cactus Royale, you can see we've got water fountains here for kids to play in. A few restaurants, some of which are currently shut, but this is where we had lunch today, and I have to say the pizzas here were authentic Italian wood-fired pizzas and absolutely delicious. I just dropped the price menu here as well for 2025. I think because of the volume of Italian food over here in Cala Ratjada, I have to keep the prices quite competitive, but the whole bill for the three of us came to €50. Anyway, let's take a right here. Let's keep heading up through Cala Ratjada. Now, it isn't all Italian food over here in the resorts. Outside the Cactus Royale, or the Royale, look, they do have a menu del dia here. €12.90, tuna salad, dorada, which is a fish fillet with vegetables and a brandy salsa, and a dessert. It's pretty good value. Only served between 12 and 3 o'clock though. It's like a lunchtime menu del dia. And I can see another little Spanish tapas restaurant up in front of me. We are going to see though some places are closing down for 2025, going on into 2026. You can see that the lease is up on this place here. But anyway, let's take a right, still following little port area here. Let's head on in the direction of Cala Gat. So the one thing with these restaurants here, they are going to be very touristy. You're probably not going to find so many locals eating out on the waterfront, just because they're going to be a little bit more expensive. Just have a quick look at the prices here. Look, starters and tapas dishes are around, well, anything from around 13 to 27 euros. It's a little bit on the pricey side. Meat dishes around 25, seafood around 20 to 30. And like I said, that's for 2025. Pop on an extra 10% for 2026. Nice little Indian on the corner though. So you can see what's being built over here. Look, I think we're going to have some other luxury restaurants popping up down here in Cala Ratjada. But just to give you an initial visualization of this. And this is just another area which is being renovated and improved for future years. But as I always say, look down the back streets before you commit to eating anywhere over here. Look, got a little Caribbean bar right in front of me. That looks quite sweet. Of course as well, right down the back of the resort. I'll just zoom in a little bit. I can see some other bars and restaurants too. There's also a dive centre here, which looks very nice. I can imagine, judging by the clearness of the water over here, just like down in Cala Bona, the diving down here must be wonderful, just off the coast here. Oh, this looks like another wonderful area. Let's come and get some food and drinks. Let's have a look at the price. Starters from around 13 to 25 euros. Okay, that is a little bit pricey. And there's no real price on the seafood dishes either. They are weighed and then priced up accordingly. But the views you get are magnificent. And just look here to my right hand side. How stunning. So just turning the camera around, I've just seen some holidaymakers walking past me speaking German. In fact, most of the people I've heard today have been German. But I did speak to a lovely Irish holidaymaker a little bit earlier on in my day, and she said how much she does love coming over here for a day trip. And look, you can see as we come around the corner here, some really beautiful villas on the other side of the bay. But the real treat is just as we head around this corner. And take note of the signs, because this area is very, very rocky. Let's take a look at the view that we're going to get from here. And my goodness me, check out Cala Gat today. It is absolutely packed. I'm pretty sure you can actually drive here as well. I can see some cars parked up on the roadside. The sea is full with swimmers. I just can't believe it. But it is also a lifeguarded beach too. You can see they've got the green flag flying. But if this is nearing the end of the holiday season, I wonder what it's like in summer. Anyway, I've just switched cameras here just because my battery is getting very, very low on my phone. But we're going to take a walk over to Cala Gat and we're going to see what it's like. Now this may surprise you because from where we're looking at the beach from this angle, it does look very, very pretty. Now we're going to continue walking. I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm going to show you how different it looks when we get down onto the beach. So just looking around to the right hand side here, look, turquoise blue waters. Just looking absolutely stunning today, but we're going to keep on heading round. Now I do believe that there's a walkway which you can head round back into Cala Ratjada via the woods. I'm not going to do it, it's a little bit steep actually. I can just see some people coming down the hill, but this area is worth exploring. And I do know that you can walk to Cala Gat as well from here. Might be something you want to do in the spring or in the autumn. So I'm just standing at the top of the steps here which heads on down to Cala Gat. I can see there's a little chiringuito. I can see there's some loos here as well, which is obviously very important. I can also see a very small beach. So like I said, I can imagine in the summer and at weekends it does get very, very busy. And just check out how packed the sands are here today. I mean, it is absolutely packed. In a couple of weeks, all these people will have gone home, will have returned to their home countries, and this beach will be pretty much empty. So one thing you will notice, and one thing I've noticed over here in Mallorca, is that it depends where the sun is shining as to how blue the water is. You can see I'm filming into the sun, it makes the sea look a little bit grey. Let's keep heading round. And well, this isn't a particularly inexpensive bar. I'm just going to drop a few prices on the screen. €12 baguette, you might want to bring a picnic for the day. Or maybe not if you're here on holiday, maybe price isn't an issue. And look, there's this little sign here saying you can walk over to Cala Gat or back in the opposite direction to Son Mall. Okay everyone, that's just a very quick walk through Cala Ratjada today to give you an idea of what this beautiful corner of the island is like. Now I will be back here in 2026 and if you like I shall live stream too when the season starts again. You can see what 2026 has to offer down here, but in the meantime don't forget you can find me in the Facebook group, you can find me on Instagram also called Mallorca Under the Sun. I'm also going to drop a couple of helpful videos appearing both here and here on YouTube. Thanks very much for watching everyone and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Goodbye for now.